Hey guys, a very good evening to all my crypto believers. So, have you all been curious about what's happening in the market? Don't worry, the coin monks got you covered. Okay, so before starting with the updates, let's quickly quote today's headlines. Melanonia Capital advocates for Bitcoin mining against Swedish government's banning call. This country might become first to impose tax on NFTs. Citi to hire 100 staff members for digital assets expansion drive. Indian banks continue to resist crypto a week before legislation hits parliament. So let's start off with the refresh feed. Firstly, Swedish authorities, including the Swedish Financial Supervisory Authority and Swedish Environmental Protection, have extended calls advocating for a European Union-wide ban of proof-of-work mining activities on the grounds that the process jeopardizes the power grid. Wait, did I use all the vocabulary in this single statement? Well, never mind. Let's have an explanation for our inscription. Melanonia Capital, a French investment manager, likewise criticizes this ostensibly patriotic call, claiming that the regulator's viewpoint is based on disinformation. The argument that Bitcoin miners endanger the energy grid is completely false. Bitcoin miners are the most vulnerable industry to electricity prices, and their business's model collapses altogether when demand for electricity increases. Even modest increases in pricing might mean mining activities incur losses, Melanonia Capital stated in a short note. The investment business argued that governments throughout the world should refrain from enacting laws that stifle the industry's growth merely because it is decentralized. There are no individuals who can speak for everyone. The lack of such a political counterbalance should not be used as an excuse to enact legislation that makes an industry illegal due to its lack of defensive capabilities. Melanonian's answer to the ban call drew on the attitude of regional governments such as Texas, which are looking into ways to mine BTC efficiently and profitably using the state's renewable energy resources. Miners are currently looking for ways to switch their Bitcoin mining processors to green energy. While the outcomes may not be obvious in the near future, the push by entities into this sector suggests that this technique will become more widespread in the next years. Moving further, crypto taxation has become a key part of the discussion in the regulatory debate. On one hand, some countries are imposing capital gain taxes based on existing rules, while on the other hand, a few nations have framed new tax regulations on crypto transactions. Let's have a look at the country who marks itself the first one to impose taxes on NFTs. With its crypto taxation policy, South Korea is one of the countries that is presently leading the regulatory demography. It has placed a 30% tax on cryptocurrency transactions, which will go into force next year. Now, the government is on the cusp of becoming the first to tax NFTs, which are currently one of the fastest growing crypto ecosystems. According to a story published in Korea Herald, the Financial Services Commission of South Korea had stated that they intend to implement a tax system for NFTs as well. According to Do Kyu-sang, the FSC's vice chairman, the regulatory body plans to bring gains from NFT sales under the present act on specified financial transaction information. Gains from the sale and acquisition of virtual assets are considered other income and are subject to taxation under the specified financial transaction information rule. According to the code, owners of virtual assets such as NFT artworks by a famous artist are subject to law to pay a 20% tax on any gain from the sale of the assets that surpasses 2.5 million won. The Finance Ministry, on the other hand, disagrees with the FSA's assessment of NFTs and argues that classifying them as virtual assets is still debatable. Hong Nam-ki, the Finance Minister, has stated, "I believe NFTs do not yet belong to virtual assets," says the author. The regulatory bodies and Finance Ministry's differing views on NFTs could cause a lot of market confusion, which is bad for the ecosystem. Following the recent introduction of AML standards, South Korea has emerged as one of the most regulatory sound crypto ecosystems. Hundreds of unregistered crypto exchanges, mostly small and medium-sized, were forced to close as a result of the new legislation as they failed to meet the registration standards. So let's jump onto our next segment. Apparently, Citigroup Inc. is seeking to hire 100 employees as part of a renewed strategy to expand the business of its digital assets. Crypto is growing when an organization involved in banks is trying to get into it. Now, this is quite exciting, so let's have a look. The hiring of Puneet Singhvi as the new head of digital assets within Citi's institutional client group was announced on November 22. According to a memo signed by Emily Turner, the ICG's head of business development, Singwi will join the ICG's business development team on December 1. We believe in blockchain and digital assets potential, including the benefits of efficiency, instant processing, fractionalization, programmability, and transparency, the memo added. Puneet and his team will focus their efforts on interacting with key internal and external stakeholders such as clients, entrepreneurs, and regulators. Singhi will report to Emily Turner, who is in charge of the company's business development. His responsibilities include growing the digital assets team and collaborating with other city divisions in the institutional client group such as trading, securities, investment banking, and treasury and trade solutions to identify and build digital assets capabilities and products. According to Turner, the digital assets team will provide knowledge and identify key strategies for Citi's institutional client group to pursue digital asset opportunities such as new investments, new products, and new clients. Singhi most recently worked in Citi's global markets business, where he oversaw some of the company's basic initiatives in blockchain and digital assets, as well as its connections with major financial infrastructure providers, according to the note. Shobhit Maini and Vasant Vishwanathan were named co-heads of digital assets and blockchain for Citi's global markets division, according to the statement. Citi plans to hire an extra 100 people to boost the ICG's digital asset capabilities. So moving towards our final segment for today, as the Indian government is due to introduce crypto legislation for discussion in the parliament next week, Indian banks are cautioning customers against investing in crypto. Is it just the calm before the storm, or is it just the best they can do? Nobody knows. We can only guess. Anyways, let's have a look at what's getting cooked. According to the Economic Times, over the last 2-3 weeks, HDFC, Axis, and ICICI banks have issued letters to customers warning them about the risks of investing in cryptocurrency. Bankers are concerned that crypto exchanges' strong advertising strategy, which some believe are deceptive, do not appropriately represent the risks of investing and may entice investors in. Crypto advertisements and their possible influence were intensively addressed during a parliamentary meeting as well as a meeting convened by the Prime Minister on the future of crypto. Wazir X and BitBNS have temporarily paused all crypto marketing due to the situation. According to a report last week, the expected crypto legislation may not allow crypto businesses to explicitly solicit customers. According to the ET article, the Reserve Bank of India, the country's central bank, which has repeatedly advocated for a ban on all crypto, has also warned banks to be cautious and stay away from crypto firms. This isn't the first time that banks have tried to terminate links with cryptocurrency due to RBI pressure. Customers must email in May by HDFC Bank and State Bank of India's card and payment services, citing a defunct 2018 RBI notification putting a de facto ban on crypto and asking for clarifications on crypto-related transactions. Customers were threatened with account suspension or termination if they could not provide reason for crypto transactions, according to the emails. Since the RBI circular was overturned by the Supreme Court last year, the emails were withdrawn. In the same month, ICICI Bank announced that it would no longer facilitate cryptocurrency transactions. The State Bank of India halted payments to cryptocurrency exchanges in September. Furthermore, India's crypto law is anticipated to be debated during Parliament's winter session, which begins on November 29. According to recent reports, while crypto may be prohibited from being used for payments, it may be permitted to be exchanged as an asset. So we will now wind up with the assessment for today evening and meet you all tomorrow with even more interesting stuff. Until then, you may consider joining our Telegram channel for free crypto signals. Visit our blog linked below for guides, reviews, and tutorials, and subscribe to the channel and get daily updates about the crypto market. Lastly, with this little favor of CoinMonks, we hope you stay updated. Thanks for watching and have a nice day ahead.